Hey guys, this is Adrian Broussard with It's Me Technology Firm, and we are under a tropical storm warning. So I thought today would be a good day to talk about disaster recovery and backups. Backups are so important to anybody using a computer. I can't stress how important this is. Okay, there's many different types of backups, and I want to get you comfortable with the different types of backups and the pros and cons of using each individual type. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So if you have any questions, you can reach us by phone 504-383-3259, or you can check us out on our website at www.ittsme.com. Alright, so here we go. We're going to start off talking about CDs, okay? CDs and DVDs. So this is the kind of first form of backup. To me, not a lot of people still use this method because it's kind of an older technology, okay? So a standard CD holds about 700 megabytes of information, right? It basically takes 1,000 megabytes to equal a gigabyte, roughly, right? So typically we deal with files that are a lot bigger than a CD. So you also have DVDs, which can hold 4.5 or 4.6 gigabytes of information, and they do go up a little bit higher than that because you can do Blu-rays, but once again, don't see too many people burn into that type of medium right now. Okay, so while you can use a CD, you will need a burning program to do so. And I'm not going to actually tape a burning program because there's many different ones out there, and the use of them will be different. The experience in it will be different from program to program. But if you have idea of burning, this is one way that you can back up your files. Or if you don't have a lot of files, you can back up to a CD. Pros is that it's really cheap, really inexpensive. You can get 100 CDs now for I think like 20 bucks or something, at least for us at your local Sam's or Walmart or something like that. So they're really, really expensive. You can get a bunch of them and you can burn files, you know, such as pictures and documents and stuff like that. So these come in handy for stuff like that. Now, when you get into wanting to save something a little bit bigger, we're going to move to the next part. Alright, so next in line we have a flash drive, also known as a USB drive, a thumb drive. It can be known by many different names, but basically we're going to say USB flash drive or USB thumb drive, right? So this is a simple USB drive. You plug into a USB port, and there's many different sizes, 8 gigs, 4, 8, and they keep just going up. This is a 32 gig. You can get up to I think like 256 gigabytes nowadays. But these come in handy because they're pocket size, so that's a pro, right? We can keep it in our pocket. But I find that people do tend to lose these sometimes, or even worse, which I've personally done myself, is I've washed them. You know, we tend to forget after a long day's work, you leave it in your pocket, and for me, my lovely wife takes care of me a lot, so when she does laundry, if I don't say anything, I'll take it out. Sometimes I'll go in and just throw something in when she's doing laundry, and I'll forget to take it out of my pocket. So yes, I have washed some flash drives in my day. But they're really easy to use. You plug them in. Alright, you're going to get a visual indication on your computer that should pop up. They don't always, depending upon the state of your computer. Sometimes you can have some stuff that will affect the automatic pop-up, but if not, later I'll cut to a snippet that'll show you actually how to access the USB drives. Okay, but one of the things I do want to talk about is there's a difference in the types of USB drives. I don't know how many of you actually know this, but see how this is black? Okay, this particular one is a USB 2.0. Okay, there's USB 1, 2, 3, and I believe 3.1 is now out. So there's a difference in the speed at which it can transfer data. The higher, the better, right? So, and the way you can identify a USB 3, which is pretty common nowadays, is that it has a blue little insert. All right. And typically what you want to do is on the back of the computer or on the front of the computer, you want to match the blue with the blue on the computer, the blue socket on the back of the computer. So, and that's how you'll get your faster transfer speeds. And USB 3 is a lot faster than USB 2, I'm here to tell you. So if you ever want to go ahead and get a flash drive, I would recommend investing in a USB 3. It's not really that much more expensive. You can usually get them about 10 to 20 bucks, something like that. The higher you go, the more expensive it's gonna be. So do some shopping around and, you know, find the best value or best deal for you. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump to the next one. All right, so next on our list is the Passport, or if you will, a external hard drive. Now, the My Passport series is the Western Digital's version of a USB external hard drive. Okay, and there's many different versions. There's Seagate. There's a lot of different brands. Just so happened that I like Western Digital, and basically this serves as an even bigger USB drive. They literally perform the same function. They store files, okay? It's just that this one is a 16 gigabyte. This one is a 2 terabyte. Okay, so it takes 1,024 megabytes to equal 1 gigabyte. Okay, and then 1,000 gigabytes to equal 1 terabyte. This is 2 terabytes. So this thing can hold a lot of data. It's a lot of pictures, a lot of video, a lot of music, and it's portable. Okay, now pros, it's portable, fairly inexpensive. You can buy one of these for about 50 bucks, something like that, anywhere between 50 and 100 bucks. It's also USB 3. Remember, we talked about that. If it has the little blue piece on the inside, you want to match it up to the blue piece on the back of the computer, the blue socket on the back of the computer. So, and that'll help you get the best speeds as far as USB 3 is concerned. Now, it is backwards compatible, so you may be asking, if I plug this into a USB 2 or USB 1, will it work? Yes, it will. It's just that if you plug it into a 3, you'll get better speeds, okay? And what I mean by that, better transfer speeds. The speed at which it takes you to move a file from your computer to that particular device, okay? The difference in some of my files, at least some of the big files that we do, because we do a lot of video editing, stuff like that, has been minutes, not seconds. So it can be a big difference, okay? So now the cons to that particular drive that I personally don't like is you have to be careful with it. If this drive is on, when it is plugged in, if you drop this drive or if you ding this drive too hard, your data can be lost. Through many, experimentations or just transporting data and stuff like that, I've heard it happen, I've seen it happen, I've experienced it myself where I've had one of these and maybe I've just kind of sat it up and while it was plugged in and it fell and all of a sudden the drive goes corrupt. So it doesn't happen a whole lot, but it is possible, it can happen, and you just want to be leery, to when you have it, put it face down, make sure it's secure, make sure it's not going anywhere, is basically what I'm getting at. Okay, so that's about the only con. Another pretty inexpensive way to back up all of your data. Okay, and the also good thing about having a Passport or something along those lines is there are programs out there that will actually back up your system, and that's kind of another, well, let's kind of get into that. I was going to say maybe I should make another video about it, but we do kind of need to talk about that just a tad bit, right? Because there's programs out there that'll back up your computer, and you need to know the difference. The difference is some programs will back up the files on your computer, not your programs, Not your operating system, not any of that. None of your settings or anything like that. Just your files. Then there are programs that will actually go ahead and back up your whole computer. It will take an actual snapshot or image of your whole computer. Those are the type that you really want, because what it does, it creates a whole image, and you can get things that you can't normally get with just your files. If you have a snapshot of your whole computer, you actually can go in and maybe recover some of your favorites or something like that. And there's several other different pros and to using a program like that. We're not going to get too far in it because I want to focus on backups today. But that's basically the pro to having once again, My Passport. Okay, and there are some bigger ones you can get. You just have to decide what size do you have, how much data you have, and what's best for you. Okay, so all right, moving right along. All right, finally, so we're to the big one that everybody has questions about, that people are always talking about. It is the cloud. What is the cloud? It's nothing for anybody to be scared of. It's no mysterious thing that people should be afraid of. All the cloud is somebody with a PC in another state or in another area that has hard drive space, and they're loaning their hard drive space to you. That's what the cloud is. So if I were to build several computers and have, you know, an astronomical amount of space, and I said, hey, you know, one of my friends, hey, you want to use my space? You can actually send your files over to my server, and I'll let you use my server and back up your files and store your files. That's a cloud. Okay, so that's the simple term and the simple way to understand what the cloud is. So let's clear up the misconception that, oh, it's just out in space somewhere, or, you know, we don't know what the cloud is. All the cloud is storage somewhere else. That's it, point blank period. That's how easy it is. So you're allowing somebody else to manage and take care of your information when you use a cloud service. Now, what are some of the cloud services? Well, you have Google, which has Google Drive. You have Apple, which has iCloud. You have Microsoft, which has OneNote. All right, and you know, you can use any one of these different services, right, to back up your data. So there's different prices, so you can look them up yourself by just going to the website Google. You can type in Google Drive, and so on and so on, and they'll give you the price, right? And some of them even start off with a free service, so you get a certain amount free just for signing up for a Gmail account or a Hotmail account. So you may want to go ahead and look into that, because if you don't have a lot of documents and stuff like that, you may as well just go ahead and sign up, and you can load those documents there. What does that mean? If you upload the documents or pictures from your computer to the cloud, you are now able to access them anywhere. So whether you're at home, by a friend, in New York, out of the country, as long as you have access to the internet, you can access those files. Okay? So that's a great thing. Now, I know people are scared of, you know, being hacked. What if they get my files and all these different type of things? You know, it's hard to speak to that because you're speaking towards someone's fear. And the only thing I can tell you is, to a degree, anything is capable of being hacked. If it's a digital device, it's capable of being hacked. And I'm not here to try to, you know, convince you to use the cloud. You have to decide on whether or not the cloud service is something that can service you, and is it beneficial to you, and are you willing to take that risk? You know, all I'm here to do is help guide you, tell you about it so you can make the best informed decision that you can make. Okay, so with that said, there are some other services, cloud services like Carbonite, which is an online backup service. We love Carbonite, but one of the things that Carbonite, well, it depends on the package, right? Because their first level, it just recovers, or it just saves your files. So it will save unlimited amount of files on your computer for like $59.99. Don't quote me. I'm just thinking from the last time I hooked it up, I believe that was the price. But once again, you can go on Carbonite's website which should be www.carbonite.com, and check out the service plans and see what's available to you. If it's something that you're not feeling comfortable with, call us at 504-383-3259, or check us out on the website and send us a message, and we can help facilitate that. We can actually sit down and explain to you exactly what the plans mean, what plan would be best for you, and help you through that whole process. But to me, there's no reason to be afraid of the cloud. The cloud is a wonderful thing. We've had a lot of clients that have had problems and were able to recover due to the cloud. So whether it rains, whether you have a flood, whether you have fire, whether you have wind or tornado damage, any of these natural disasters can be circumvented by having a cloud service. Because even if you have a flash drive, even if you have a passport or external hard drive, right? If they're in the facility, they can be destroyed. And God forbid, we don't want this to happen, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway, but theft. If somebody were to steal all of your equipment, you would still lose everything. So the cloud enables you to have that final and third tier, as we like to say, of protection. Also, if you have a computer and you get, say, the crypto virus or a version of the crypto virus, once again, that data is not physically stored on your computer. So then you can wipe out your current machine, right? Clear out the virus, do everything you need to do, and then re-download your files. And they're safe and sound. So there's many different pros to having a cloud. The only con that I could ever see is there a possibility of these, software companies and stuff like that getting hacked? I think anything is possible, highly unlikely, but anything's possible. So that is a risk that you have to decide, is it worth it to you? But in my experience, we haven't had a lot of problems with that kind of stuff. There's not a bunch of these companies that are getting hacked and stuff like that. So with that said, I think it's definitely important to have not just one form of backup, but especially for businesses, you want to have a 3-phase backup. What does that mean, right? So typically you'll have your computer, okay? You'll have your computer, and you can have something like a RAID, which means you have a double hard drive system. Instead of having one hard drive, you may have 2 or possibly 3. Okay, there's different forms of RAID. You can go, bigger or smaller, but at least you need 2. Okay, what that does is you have a mirror image of your system. So if one drive fails, the other drive kicks in, you replace the bad drive. Okay, so that's phase 1. Phase 2 would be your flash drive, your external hard drive. Once again, that's a local backup. It's faster than pulling information off the cloud, because the cloud depends heavily on your internet connection. So how fast your internet is will dictate how fast you can pull those files back down. And if you're a business, right, it is very important to get your files as fast as you can, because you want to get back to business. As we all know, time is money. So while it may be a last resort for a business, you want to have all the systems in place, because this would be a lot faster to recover from than if you had to do it from the cloud. Now, the third tier is just that. It is the cloud, right? So you now have 3 different layers of which you can be protected. Number 1, you have a dual hard drive on a computer. If the whole computer goes out, crashes, gets a surge or anything like that, then you have your local backup. The pros to your local backup is that it can be restored a little faster than what the cloud can. Okay, but then the third tier, which is the final tier, the con to it is that it's a little bit slower, but the pro is you still have all your data. So, and that's the type of backup systems that we provide for our clients. It's a 3-phase backup system, and it protects you in all cases. And if there's anything beyond that happens, a natural disaster of that level, I think the last thing you or I or anybody are going to be worried about is the business of those files. So you know, at that point it just is what it is. So I hope this has been pretty informative for you. I am going to go in and give you guys a clip on how it looks like to actually move some files from one device to another. So from your computer to another. So go ahead and check that out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I told you that I would give you a clip on how to actually use a USB drive. So here we go. All right, so I have my USB drive in my hand and I'm going to plug it into the USB socket in the computer. All right, so if your computer's working in perfect condition and everything works the way it's supposed to, what you'll see is that our USB drive automatically popped up. And this typically is what should happen, okay? Now, if it did not, we're gonna go ahead and close that. But if it did not, you can actually come to this little icon right here, the little manila folder on your taskbar, right? And scroll down to under this PC and you should see, now I have a few extra things, so you're gonna see a bunch of letters here, which is C, D, E, F, and all these different letters. But basically on your computer it's going to take the next letter in line. So if you have a C, which everybody has a C because that is your hard drive, and then a D, which is typically your CD-ROM or DVD burner, whatever that is, and the next thing in line should probably be your USB drive. So if you have other things plugged in of that nature, they will take other or multiple drives, multiple hard drives, they'll take the next letter in line. So just look for whatever the next letter in line is. In this case, it is the letter K, right? So our USB disk that we just inserted is the letter K. So we want to go ahead and click on that. And as you can see, we have a, pretty much a empty file. A folder rather, let's call it an empty folder, because we have no files in it. So let me state that correctly. All right, so now I'm going to use the snap feature, all right, where we grab this little area at the top, anywhere in here, right, by left clicking and dragging it to the right of the screen. Now what you'll notice, you'll see this little silhouette pop up. That's how you know you're doing it right. You want to grab it and hit the right or left hand side of the screen. And what that does is it's going to fill out that silhouette. It's going to automatically half up half of the screen. Bam, and there we go. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to let's see here. Don't think I have many documents here, but I'm going to go ahead and go to my documents anyway. So I'm going to right click on that manila folder again. I'm going to go to File Explorer to open up a secondary window, and now I'm going to snap left. So I'm going to once again grab it in this little area up here, anywhere in this little white area, and I'm going to hit the left hand side of the screen, and once again you see that silhouette. We'll bring it away, we'll bring it back, see the silhouette. So I'm gonna let it go and it automatically halves up the screen. So I'll go ahead and go to my documents, and just to kind of show you, we're going to go ahead and copy one of the files. So you have several different ways that you can do it. You can do it whatever way is most comfortable for you. All right, so I'm going to go with one of the easiest that I find. So you go ahead and select your file. You left click on it, and from there you can right click, which will give you a set of options. You can copy. Then you come over to your USB drive, which is on the right hand side. Anywhere in this big white open area, you can right click and say paste. Alright, so you saw that quick little exchange, that quick little window that popped up, and that was a meter just showing the progress of the transfer. Okay, so now we have successfully moved this file, It's Me Policies 2017, over from our computer to the USB flash drive. Okay, so the next way you can do it is to simply drag and drop. And you'll notice here when I drag it to this window, it says copy to USB disk. So I'm going to let it go, And to drag, you simply left click and hold that left click down, move it over here and let it go. Really, really easy. And finally, if you know anything about shortcut keys, you can select a file and press Control C and come over here, click one time and Control V. Alright, that's Control C as in Charlie to copy, and that's Control V as in Victor to paste. So I've shown you 3 different ways to copy and paste, and this is how you back up your files. Okay, this is how you would move files and have a duplicate, because that's what you want. You want a duplicate, a secondary copy of your files, not just on your computer in case your computer crashes, but that secondary copy to be on a flash drive or on a external drive or something of that nature. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope this has been informative for you. If you have further questions about today's topic, feel free to give us a call at 504-383-3259, or you can check us out at www.ittsme.com. That's It's Me with 2 T's. All right, guys. I'll see you later.